Srini, please share the screen. Previous session, we deployed an VM on this particular ESXi host. In this session, we are going to discuss about VM version and VMware tools. Once that is done, we'll proceed with vCenter server. First, what is the VM version? VM version is nothing but we know that it is a BIOS, motherboard BIOS program. According to the VM version, what we understood that how much CPU, how much memory, what is the capacity limitations, everything it is going to depend upon BIOS, that we call it as a firmware, BIOS program of the motherboard. That is a VM version, VM hardware version, VM hardware version 4, 7, 8, 9. We notice that during the deployment of VM, while creating a VM, we notice that what is VMware, VM hardware version. According to our version, it is going to design how much memory, how much CPU it is going to support. Now, VMware tools. What is VMware tools? VMware tools is nothing but driver. Whatever the hardware device, whatever the device you are going to use, that device is going to come with a firmware version. For each and every electronic device is going to have a firmware as well as the driver. What is a firmware? Firmware is nothing but the BIOS program of that particular card. And what is a driver? Driver is nothing but it is a additional feature. What is compatibility? It is going to add an interface, better handshake between that particular device and respective operating system. Respective operating system in the sense here in this particular server, we loaded an operating system Windows 2008. What we did while creating a VM, we added a NIC. What NIC we added? VMNext 3. If you go to device manager of this particular VM, go to device manager. And see what is the drivers it is loaded for each device, what are the motherboard, hard disk, display driver, everything it is going to have a default driver. If it is compatible, it is going to load a default driver. In this particular device manager, if you see the device manager, everything is showing green except two components. If you see the two component, it is showing us some yellow mark. That in the sense, the driver is not a default driver, is not available for that particular device. Now, we know this is a hardware device, virtual hardware. If it is a physical hardware, even while connecting a device, for example, in our system, in our desktop system or laptop, mouse is not working properly. Mouse is not able to move properly. So what you are going to do, you are going to load the driver for that particular mouse device so that once the driver is installed on that system, the mouse you can freely move. The cursor can be free flow. Similar way, for each device, it is going to have a default compatibility by default for each and every operating system. If there is no default driver availability, then we need to load the respective driver from the respective vendor. Here, what we added during the creation of the VM, we created a disk, we created a network adapter with VMNext 3. VMNext 3, I told you, it is a VMware network adapter, VMware network adapter. So how to load the driver? The driver is nothing but a VMware tools, we call it as. What is a VMware hardware version? VMware hardware version is nothing but it is a BIOS. It is a firmware of the virtual hardware. Whereas in driver, what is a driver? Driver is nothing but a VMware tools. So there are two components available here. So you need to understand. So whatever the operating system we loaded, that operating system is going to provide certain default compatibility. If you expand computer disk drive, expand disk drive, there is no issue. It recognize the disk drive, expand the disk drive, expand the display adapter. It is loaded a default driver. We haven't installed anything. What is the default driver? Virtual VMware disk AC disk device. It is a hard disk. It is defaultly recognized by Windows 2008 R2 operating system. That's the reason it is showing as compatible. Whatever the device it is not compatible, it is going to show as other devices. Now, it's our responsibility to load driver. You know that we added a NIC card yesterday. In previous session, we added a NIC card. Go to network options. Are you able to assign an IP address? Go to network options and see. See, we added a NIC card. As a server, what is the primary responsibility once server is installation is completed? It's our responsibility to assign a IP address. Where is the NIC card? If you see the system, there is a NIC card. We added a NIC card, but it is not visible. Why it is not visible? There is no default driver available for this operating system for that particular network card. So it's our responsibility to load what is driver. What is the driver? As we are working on VMware VM virtual machine, so we need to load VMware tools. VMware tools is nothing but the driver component, the driver package for this particular virtual machine. How to load VMware tools, how to load the driver. So if you click on this console, either you can click on console, click on VM tab on the top right corner. No, not here. Go to console. We can do both. Doesn't matter. We can do both. I'm showing you both the options. On the top, the file, view, and VM option is there. File, view, and VM option. Click on VM. Yes. Go to guest. Click on guest. Here, see, there is an option. Don't click on here. There is an option. What is that option? Install, upgrade VMware tools. This is an option we are going to do that to load the drivers for this particular server. It is not only loading the network driver, it is all the drivers for VMware virtual hardware. So as soon as the installation is completed for any virtual machine, as soon as we complete the creation of virtual machine, the operating system, we are going to create an operating system. We did that installation 2008. As soon as 2000 installation is done, what next? The primary step is to load the driver for that respective version. Okay. If you see here, click on go back, go to inventory, go to select ESXi host. Go to summary page. See here what is happening here. If you see what is a VM version, VM version in this general tab under guest OS, it is 2000 server 2008 R2. Okay. What is showing? 2008 R2. What is the version? Yesterday we created while creating a virtual machine, what we selected? We selected a VM virtual machine hardware version as 11, right? So that it is showing as a 11. Now, what is the tools? See here. What is the tools it is showing here? Not running, not installed. So it is our responsibility to load as soon as the operating system is installation is done. We need to load the drivers, VMware tools. VMware tools is nothing but drivers. So how to load the drivers? Okay, we are going to right click on this VM or connect to console. We can do both the directions. Let's see how it is going to happen. I'm going to show you. There are two options are available. Right click on VM. Guest. Click on install upgrade VMware tools. By default, it is a 2008 R2. It is going to click on that, click on OK. What it is going to do, it enhance the information, it enhance the handshake between the respective device and the operating system. So once the driver, it is auto installation is going into place. If it is not auto installation, there is another option is going to come into picture. What is that option? Interactive and auto upgrade. Auto upgrade in the sense it will execute itself. That package it is going to mount and execute itself, and then installation on respective operating system. If it is auto update is not available, what it is going to do? It is going to provide an interactive update. What is interactive update? Right click on the virtual machine, go to edit settings. As soon as you selected, see what it is showing. The VMware tool installation is in progress on this virtual machine. CD-ROM device cannot be edited. Why? As soon as you selected VMware tools installation, what it is going to do? The driver package is going to mount to the CD-ROM. Go to click on OK and see what it is there. Select CD-ROM. See, it is mounted that ISO image. What is that ISO image? It is mounted that VMware tools ISO image mounted to this virtual machine and started installation. Click cancel, connect to console and see what is happening on that. Once the installation is completed, it is going to reboot. See, it is going to prompt. Don't click on cancel. Run VMware tools. As soon as it is mounted that, click on that. Yes, click on that. Yes. What see it is happening, the driver package installation is going on. Okay. So that in the sense, as soon as you connect it to console, if you are not going to connect console, the installation is going to take place on its own. As it is already connected to console, it is prompting interactive. Interactive in the sense, you need to provide an input. That is an interactive update. Okay, that's a way how to install VMware tools. What is a VMware tools and VM version? There are two components for the virtual machine hardware. VM version is all about the BIOS program, the firmware, whereas in VMware tools is nothing but a driver for all hardware. What are the all hardware components? Everything. What are the devices you are able to see in device manager? Everything is related to virtual hardware, CPU, motherboard, everything. Okay. So once installation is completed, it is gone. Open that, click next, next. You can click typical or else complete, select complete. Proceed next. Let it finish. Once the installation is done, it is going to reboot and it is going to take into effect all the drivers and see under device manager what we are going to see the change. And what is the network card? Previously, network card is not available. Once in VMware tools installation is done, how the network is visible, what the drivers are visible, everything we are going to see. Let it complete. Once the completion installation is done, click on finish to reboot this particular virtual machine. Not only Windows 2008 up to any operating system, whatever the operating system you are going to load, according to operating system, you are going to create a virtual machine. Once virtual machine is created, we started installation, how to mount ISO image. Yesterday we noticed that in previous session. Now we are loading the virtual machine drivers. Virtual machine drivers in the click finish. Go. It will ask for reboot to yes. Click on yes to reboot. So once server is reboot, we'll see. So whatever the operating system we are going to load, according to that operating system, for every operating system, the driver's package is mandatory. What is a driver? Driver is nothing but it is going to have a better handshake between what to what from the respective device to the respective operating system. Operating system is going to have a certain default components. The default components works certain extent. If you need more enhancement performance of the respective device, then you are going to load the driver respective device. Simplest example, mouse. If you are not able to move mouse freely, that mouse cursor is not moving as expected, then whatever the device driver is coming along with the mouse, you are going to install the driver so that it is going to provide enhanced features on that particular device. So you can easily, once in driver is installation done, you are going to perform whatever the action as per the expected. So for every operating system, the driver is mandatory for better handshake, for better performance. Okay, so we'll see how it is going to show the network card at device manager. Previously, there are two devices showing as a unknown, not able to add a driver. Now we complete the VMware tools installation for all hardware, not only network card, for all hardware. Go to device manager. See, there is no hello, everything is installed, drivers, everything is installed properly. Now I am ready to configure the IP address for this server to proceed with. Now I hope you should understand by this time what is a VMware version, what is a VMware tools. Okay, for every operating system, VMware tools installation is mandatory. The driver installation is mandatory. Either it is Linux or the Windows or whatever the operating system it is going to load, it is mandatory to install the drivers package. Okay, now we are going to assign an IP address for this particular system and joining to domain and ready, make it ready for what is the requirement for this particular server we deployed, we created this virtual machine. The purpose is to install vCenter server, vSphere server, the centralized management console. Go and assign IP address and add to domain. What is the prerequisite is for the vCenter server? Let it complete the IP address information. We already created a DID on this particular environment. Previous AD environment, we worked on VMware Workstation. There is certain limitations on VMware Workstation. As we have a physical server, we install ESXi host on physical server. Once the ESXi host is ready, we deployed AD server and one more server, that is vCenter server, two virtual machines we created, okay, for the purpose of lab, how to create and how to proceed and everything. If you don't have a physical server, the same actions can be performed on your VMware workstation. But while working on virtualization, the virtualization layer, for better understanding, it is mandatory to install on a physical server. Without physical server, practicing a virtualization OS, it is little difficult and it is not up to mark to our environment. Okay, so if you have a physical server, physical server. If you don't have physical server, you can use your desktop as well to install ESXi host. In our environment, what we are going to do is we have 2 physical servers and 2 desktop systems. 2 desktop systems in the sense normal desktop system, how home we are, whatever the desktop system we are going to use, we can load on the desktop system as well, that ESXi host. That is also physical machine. On that physical machine, we are going to load ESXi host instead of desktop's operating system. So to practice, how to practice, how to deploy virtual machines and all those things, you can give a practice. At least you should have 2 desktop systems to perform lab. If you don't have a server, at least 2 desktop systems. By coordinating with your friends, or 2 laptops also will work out together. 2 laptops, 3 laptops also works for lab creation. I'm going to explain the basic information how to create a lab. If you practice well and enough, then you can understand the concepts more easily. Once you understand the basic concepts, it's our responsibility to correlate with the live environment. You cannot say this lab environment in your interview questions. You have to create, you have to imagine how the real environment is, how many servers are there and all those things. Okay, coming back to the topic, now we understood that what is VMware version and what is VMware tools. Now we deployed ESXi host, that is fine. Once ESXi host is deployment is done, now the next target is how to connect. We have a client tools, either a Windows installation client or web client, the browser client. With those 2 clients, I'm able to connect the respective ESXi host. That is also fine. I'm able to create a virtual machine on this particular ESXi host. Okay. Now, my environment has 100 ESXi host or 10 ESXi host. For example, take consideration 10 ESXi host I have. Is it possible to manage connecting each ESXi host? To connect each ESXi host, what I need to do? I need to connect VI client or I need to use web client to perform certain action on the respective ESXi host. If I want to perform on these 10 ESXi host, on this 10 ESXi host, I need to open 10 sessions and perform different actions. It is a kind of tedious job. Okay. Now, if you see right click on this vCenter server, whatever the server we deployed on ESXi host, go to right click on vCenter server or any VM. See what are the options are going to come into picture. There are very limited options are going to come into picture. What are the limited options? I can do only power button or a guest operation. Each tab, what is the options? I can restart, power off, suspend, and all those things. If you go to guest, what is the guest option? It is going to show in picture different options, send, control, alt, delete, and other things. Very few options. There is no other options available. What is the other options? What is the ESXi host? If you select the ESXi host, select ESXi host, go to configuration, go to license feature, under software license, where these all options are going to come into picture. I have an Enterprise Plus license. There's many options are available. There is a vMotion is there, a vSphere HA is there, data protection is there, clone option is there, template option is there. There are different options are available. How to get those all these options on this ESXi host? If you connect individual ESXi host, what are the features are available? These many features are not going to be available if you connect a standalone ESXi host. To get all these options, all these points, all these features, how to get it is only possible once you load vCenter server, the centralized management console. We discussed in last session the comparison between the licensing component. The vSphere server is going to have a limited only one edition, standard edition. But ESXi host license per core and is going to have standard enterprise and enterprise plus. Some other versions it is going to have platinum, enterprise plus like that. But according to that license, it is going to have features. This ESXi host. This is just ESXi host, but it is going to provide all these features. But am I able to get all these features by connecting directly to this ESXi host? No, we are not able to get. To get all these features, what is required? Centralized management console. That is one thing. Second thing is that in my environment, if I have enterprise environment, generally it is not going to have 5 or 10. It is going to have 50 or 100 ESXi hosts. Some environments even 1,000 ESXi hosts. How to manage all together? How many centralized management console I need? So we need to design to manage all ESXi hosts. All ESXi hosts, managing all ESXi hosts in the sense we are able to manage and whatever the VMs are, we are able to create on the respective ESXi host, we can manage all those VMs. Consider I have 10 ESXi hosts. Each ESXi host is able to deploy 50 VMs. That in the sense 10 ESXi hosts, I'm going to have 500 VMs. I need to maintain 500 VMs. That in the sense I need to connect each ESXi host, I need to search server. If I have centralized management console, so that it is administrative task made easy. So how to load vCenter server? What is the importance of vCenter server? The centralized management console. Okay, so that's the reason we are going to see how to load vCenter server, what is a necessity, what is it is going to provide additional features, what are the different options. If you connect a single individual ESXi host, what are the options are we are going to get? The same ESXi host, if we access through vCenter server, that is centralized management console, what are the options we are going to get? We are going to see that. Before going that, we understood that what is the necessity of centralized management console. Now, what is the importance? For each centralized management console, there are certain prerequisites. For example, to install a DB server, what are the components are required? Like that, here, I am going to load a vCenter server. For vCenter server, there are certain requirements. What is those requirements? First, it is an application. So for that application, what is the requirement? I need an operating system. What operating system it is going to support? What type of installations are available for centralized management console? There are two types of centralized management consoles. What types of? One is Windows-based installation. Other one is appliance-based installation. Appliance-based installation in the sense, it is a predefined software and configure the management console on the package. As a package, VMware is going to provide as a package. As a package in the sense, to manage centralized management console, what it is required? Operating system is required. Once operating system is ready, I need to configure IP address. All the setup is done. Space issue, I need to consider. Once that is done, I need to load a management console application. So then that is ready for my centralized management console actions. Now what VMware provided is they provided a bundle package. Bundle package in the sense the management console is preloaded on an operating system that is appliance. It is a Linux based operating system. On top of it, the management console also configured ready. Just we need to download that package and assign an IP. That's it. We can use that centralized management console. Whereas in Windows-based installation, Windows-based installation in the sense, it is going to provide a ISO image. By using that ISO image, what is the prerequisite? Where can I deploy that vCenter server Windows-based? We are going to learn Windows-based installation. Why? Because we know the knowledge on Windows Server. That's the reason I'm choosing Windows-based installation. It is pretty simple using the appliance-based as well. Without having a knowledge on Linux operating system, it is pretty easy, very easy to understand, very easy to deploy the appliance based. What is the difference between these two components? If I need a Windows based installation, what is required? In addition to the licensing cost of vCenter server, I need to purchase a license of Windows Server. That is one thing. For every management console, for any management console, it requires a database. It requires a database. So if I choose a Windows-based installation, what is required? One Windows server, one DB server is required. These two servers are required. Without these two servers, I am not in a position to load centralized management console. This is a prerequisite. That in the sense, in addition to the license cost of vCenter server, I need to purchase two licenses. What is the two licenses? Windows 2000 server license and additional DB license also required. So these two things are required. What is the prerequisite to load? If I choose appliance based, only we need to purchase a license for appliance. Only a vCenter server license, that's it. Once you purchase a license, with that license, I can download the appliance-based installation. And it's a free Linux, pre-configured Linux operating system with already configured and designed for centralized management console. Just download and install and assign an IP, that's it. You can use that centralized management console. As we are going to work on Windows environment, I am choosing vCenter Server for Windows-based installation. So how to do that? We already downloaded vCenter Server ISO image from the VMware website. We already copied that ISO image to local data store. Now we are going to perform installation on this particular VM. We created this VM for the purpose of loading vCenter server. Now we already downloaded. How to download? As soon as we connect ESXi host or going to VMware my.vmware.com, you can download. Okay, open browser and see how to download vCenter server. Open browser, enter IP address of 31. See, in this particular page, if you click on download vCenter server, download vCenter server option is there. Click on download vCenter server. As it is a download vCenter server, there are different components are available. What is a download vCenter server? I can download appliance based ISO image. I can download Windows based installation. Let's see what is it going to show you. We should have an internet. Without internet, it is not going to work out. So internet is mandatory. See here, it is going to vSphere. Select vSphere, VMware vSphere and download product. Yes. Go to 6.0. Here different versions are available. As we are working on 6.0, I am going to show you 6.0. I can deploy 7.6.7 or 6.5, anything. But our limited resources are available on physical environment. That's the reason I'm choosing 6.0. Now come down. What we are going to download? We are going to download vCenter server. Select vCenter server, go to downloads. Yes, go to downloads. See here, there are different options. See, VMware vCenter and modules for Windows and VMware vCenter Server appliance. See, there are two images. Two images are available to perform any action. There is one more option, VMware vCenter Server appliance, zip file. This zip file is going to provide additional feature. What is zip file, how to load, and all those things we'll see later. We can deploy appliance based also. It is very easy. Where to download the vCenter server? We can download by logging to the VMware website. But to log in, we download this particular product, we should have an uh, register product. If you don't have register, if you don't have any ID to log into the site, you can register yourself. You can download any version you can download to get access for 60 days. Okay. So anything you can download. To download this product, you should be registered. You should create an ID on this VMware portal to download the products. Okay. Now this is the concept how to download. We already downloaded. What is we downloaded? Windows based ISO image we already downloaded. And once downloaded, how to copy that ISO image to the respective VM. To mount that ISO image to the VM, what we need to do? We need to copy that ISO image to data store. In previous session, we already provided the information how to browse data store and copy that, connect to 31. Okay, go to configuration, storage, browse data store. ISO, we created a folder ISO and copy that ISO image already here. See here, VMware VMware setup already we downloaded and uploaded. How to copy this ISO image to this particular data store in previous session we already discussed, and how to mount this ISO image. Now the file is ready. Now go to edit settings of the VMware vCenter server, right click, edit settings, select CD-ROM and browse the path. We need to choose the data store file. So what we need to choose? VMware VM setup. Yes, click on OK. Okay, it's a checkbox is already connected. Okay, done. RDP to this vServer, virtual vCenter server RDP. RDP is not configured. Firewall is not configured, I think so. This is a practice how to do and all those things. So as soon as installation is completed, we need to make sure configure all the things. Properties, make it off all, 3 properties. These are the settings what we are going to do as soon as build is completed. The tools installation, this health check server hardening we call it as. This is the server hardening we call it as. Don't click on that. Enable remote desktop. Go to say advanced system settings. Go to system settings. Server manager. Click on server manager. System settings, properties. Yes. Go to remote. Yes. Allow communication. Yes. Apply. So this is a RDP, how to make it RDP. We already discussed in last sessions. Okay. Now come back to connect to RDP. Before installing vCenter server, what is a mandatory requirement? You should log in as a administrative account. How do you log in? You should log in as an administrative account. Log into domain credentials. Domain login. Maximize the window. Yes. Okay. Now we connected to the server. We are ready to proceed with installation. The vCenter server. We already mounted the ISO image. So it is always best to copy this content. Whatever the content we mounted, we are going to copy that entire content to local path, local disk. Go to my computer and copy that entire content to. Before installing vCenter server, it is mandatory to make sure it is added to domain. Okay, copy, select all, copy to local path, C drive someplace, create a vCenter dump. For later times, installation, uninstallation, troubleshooting, it is very important to have this dump on our local system and respect to vCenter server. Wherever we are going to install, we are going to copy that files to the local path so that it will be available for later troubleshooting. We can mount the CD and we can mount the ISO image, but it may not be possible all the time. So whatever the version you are going to download, make sure you are going to copy that dump to local path somewhere in local system. Okay. Once that is done, we are going to ready to proceed with installation. What are the options are going to come into picture during installation? We are going to see that. So what we are going to do, we are going to install centralized management console. There are two types of centralized management console types of installations. One is Windows based installation, the other one is appliance based. What is appliance based? It is a predefined product, predefined vCenter server by VMware vendor. It has that package by default comes with Linux OS, SUSE based Linux, one Linux OS on top of Linux, the appliance, the vCenter server management console already configured. The DB component also inbuilt. So it is going to avoid a dependency on Windows product. To load this Windows server, to load this vCenter server on a Windows, what I need a two Windows servers. One Windows server for vCenter server management console. To function this management console, I need a backend DB compatibility. If it is a small organization, I can load a default DB, inbuilt DB. Generally, enterprise environment, how they are going to maintain, they are going to maintain a separate DB server for this particular vCenter server. Click OK. If it is not going to complete, I will proceed with tomorrow next session. Okay, how to install vCenter server. It is going to take at least 20 to 30 minutes to complete the installation. No need to hurry. Try to understand the concept, why we need a vCenter server, how to do functions, what are the prerequisites to perform this installation. Go through site, go through the internet and search vSphere Server 6.0 Windows-based installation. Pre-requirements. Just search the internet and you can understand the components. What is the DB requirement? What is the Windows requirement? And all those things are going to come into picture. At the same time, what is the minimum requirement? How much space is required? how much CPU is required, everything details will be available as soon as you search internet. Any product, either VMware vSphere 6 or VMware vSphere 7, 6.7, you are going to get a detailed information. What is the required, what database is required, what is the DB compatibility, all those information. Yes, we are experienced. We know what are the things are required. Directly, I provided the information. I'm downloading these components. Okay, the content is copied already. What we are going to do is we are going to start installation next session by clicking on each. We are going to explore each option, what we need to select, how we are going to select, and all those things. Till now, what we did, what is the required component? We prepared a Windows server and we add it to domain. Before installation of vCenter server, we make sure the server name and it is should be part of domain controller. Without these two components, installing vCenter server is going to fail. Certain dependencies are there. We cannot change all those things. Simply, it is similar to if you are installing AD server, we need to make sure server name, whatever the server name, whatever the IP address is a static IP address, whatever the server name you are going to set, we cannot change during AD installation. Similar way, before installing vCenter server on a Windows server, we need to make sure whatever the server name is there, whatever the IP address is there, we need to cross check. We cannot change later. If we change IP address or server name, it is going to impact the ability of vCenter centralized management console. Some registered products will be there, some errors are going to come into picture. So we need to make sure all server hardening, all health check of the server is completed as per the VMware recommendation before installing vCenter server. We already made all the things. We download ISO image, we deployed Windows 2000 server, and we added to domain. We have everything ready. We are going to ready to go with installation. Once the installation is done, then we can compare. If you connect individual ESX servers, what options are going to come? If you connect through vCenter server, what options are going to come? We'll see that next session. Okay, until then, bye. Thank you.